Hey Gemini, we're going to do a reading for you. Let's see what's coming up for the sign of Gemini this week. For the sign of Gemini. This is Jupiter in Gemini. Okay, let's see what's coming up for Gemini. Spirit, what's coming up for Gemini this week? Ten of Pentacles. Two of Wands. The Knight of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles. Have you been wanting to go on an adventure? Have things become a bit stale? Two of Wands, it's like somebody's looking out in a way where they're wondering of what else could be out there in the world. Then the Knight of Cups is kind of like, well, it does talk about an emotional offer or some kind of conquest. What else for Gemini? The Knight of Pentacles. Oops. Page of Swords. Tower. This could either I almost feel like you have this desire to just switch things up, even if you have like stability or, all the comforts. If you're not stimulated or not feeling like you are, if you don't feel like you have an adventure of some kind, things can go stale. That's what I'm getting with the Two of Wands. And you're kind of just looking at the Ten of Pentacles like, oh yeah, it's nice to have all this, but What about what's out there? What about what's out there? Isn't there more? The Knight of Cups can be you. And that's kind of what I'm seeing in the first line. But at the bottom, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Tower. And to me, it looks like there is this maybe this could be you looking into how to restructure something. How do you, it's either that or it's somebody else. And it could be somebody else. Let's face it, it could be maybe someone who is slowly monitoring you. Who knows? The Page of Swords can represent somebody who's just kind of keeping tabs, right? But then there's this Tower. And I feel like this could be somebody who is coming in to your life that could create a tower moment. Not all towers are bad, but they're massive changes. Tower moments create a massive change in someone's life. And it's a huge impact. Like you're never the same person. Like once something happens, you can never go back to being the same individual again. But that's either you or somebody else. I do see that you're kind of looking at your stability, but there's this air of like curiosity and desire to see more of the world. Yeah, because it's like there's something missing. What else for Gemini? I don't want to make this too long. I just wanted to take a look at the energy. That one. 5 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups. Knight of Swords. So we have another Knight. Now we have the Knight of Swords. The 5 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups. The Knight of Swords. So it goes like this. The Knight of Swords has a feeling of loss, feeling left out in some way. Perhaps this is an individual that might not be very happy with you. If that's not somebody else outside of you, then there is some sense of indulgence and feeling scarcity. And the Knight of Swords talks about someone who has a lot to say. Has a lot to say. Maybe this person was left out, feels left out. Perhaps they are self-indulgent, which could be within like drinking or doing drugs or any kind of vices. Just different scenarios here. This could either represent somebody you know in your life, or this could also be, because we're getting all nights here. The only night that we are missing right now is the night of wands. Actually, the Knight of Wands took me a while to think about that. The Knight of Wands is the only one that's missing right now. Yeah. Okay. What other messages? The Nine of Swords. The Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. Some of you out there might not be realizing, I can't talk right now, might not be realizing that you could be blocking a new offer from coming in. Or this could be, or maybe there's something in this reading that is trying to give you a message that maybe there's something, a blockage that you have that you need to sort through or go within to find and heal, so that you can block a gift that's been wanting to come to you, but for some reason it hasn't gotten to you yet. And this could be something that is that you can actually create in your life and add to your Ten of Pentacles, or this could be just adding to your sense of self-worth, your building up your finances. The Wheel of Fortune, the Star, the Sun. That's awesome. And the Two of Cups at the bottom. So, Gemini, the last three cards that I have, the Wheel of Fortune, the Star, and the Sun. These three nights can represent different phases that all add up together, that go along with this Wheel of Fortune, this Star, and this Sun. For these three cards to come out together, that's pretty big. And then at the bottom, we have the Two of Cups. So this could be talking about well, you know, when I look at this, I know that it's supposed to represent love, but I also think of, well, Gemini, it's the twins, two people. This could still represent two parts of yourself coming in union. Unless you have somebody in your life, then that could represent them with you. And it could either be like a new cycle that starts, or let's say that you decide, I want to go on a conquest. I am no longer able to just, yeah, it's nice to be stable and all that, but it's not fun. I'm bored. Okay. I'm going to go on a conquest. Slow at first. Should I really do this? Trying to look at all the avenues of how to do this, unless it's somebody else that jumps in and helps you create a tower moment in your life. Or it could just be like a friend or something that has such a great impact on you that it it creates this inspiration to do something about it. And then we have the Five of Pentacles with the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Swords, who seems as though they're very impatient and they want to come in and say something. This Knight of Swords could be the one that creates a tower. The Knight of Swords is also an air sign, though, just like you. So perhaps if this isn't an outer tower moment, this could be an inner tower moment that you're having with different parts of yourself. Yes, it could be inspired by somebody outside of you, but in the end, we are always responsible for ourselves. We're the ones who make things happen. And when we figure those things out, life actually gets easier, right? It's like we're the captain of our own ship. We get to steer it where we want to go. And I feel as though this Wheel of Fortune, yes, it's really nice to see it come out, and we always associate it with luck and Jupiter. But what people don't understand is that we're not always on the top of the wheel. You'll get the Wheel of Fortune card and think that, oh yeah, it's luck. It could still mean that actually you're on this side of the wheel. Okay. And it's not to like put a damper on your parade, but it's really just to accept that change is inevitable, that things are constantly changing. And we're going to be going through these moments where we're questioning ourselves of what we really want. We're going to have these questions, right? It's natural. We're human beings. If you need a little more stimulation with the mind, we got to figure out more creative ways to entertain yourself so that you don't get stagnant. And then if it's within like family, then what changes can be made to create a better environment, a better setting, a better dynamic? But these are all within the realms of ourselves. I can see this Knight of Swords being a part of you where there's maybe some kind of, not for all, okay, but maybe how you deal with the harshness that you might feel at times. At the Knight of Swords, you don't want to like just, if you spoke your mind to everybody, then you'd probably burn a lot of bridges. So how do we cope with those things? Or how do we muffle that sharp part of us? Well, we kind of drown out maybe sometimes, right? Maybe we don't want to bother others with our sad moments. So we kind of drown it out. But really inside, it's something that deserves to be let out and said. But it's like it could be suppressed. And then this is what suppresses it. And this is like a coping mechanism, right? That's what the Knight of Swords can represent in a way. But like I said, it's, apply it where it is. It could be a completely different person, like someone that you left out in the cold and they're mad that you left them out in the cold. So they want to come back in. It can be that, like the typical readings are. But The Knight of Pentacles can just be, well, I'm doing my research. Yeah, I'm looking around. I'm ready to just upend everything right now. Just do it. Who cares? Let's move. Let's go to another country. That's what the Tower card is. But it's like very, very slow, right? Very, very slow. And then hesitant, the Knight of Pentacles, because the Knight of Pentacles is such a slow mover, there's more hesitancy, but at least it's more consistent and it builds up. But it's like within that build-up process, you can lose track of what you were even aiming at in the first place. So this could also represent somebody that's keeping an eye on you. Remember how I said the Knight of Swords can be somebody that you left out in the cold and they're wanting to barge back in? Well, we can say the Knight of Pentacles is somebody that's keeping tabs on you and they're hoping for your downfall. I don't know. I don't like to put that energy out there, but I mean, if we're reading the cards as they're separate from us, that's what it could say. The Knight of Cups can represent someone who wants to create a family with you, right? Somebody who wants to build a legacy, but perhaps they're still trying to figure out how to do that for themselves. And that's speaking to if you're seeing 3 different people. But not all Geminis are seeing 3 different people. So, anyways, but we do have 3 major arcanas here. The Wheel of Fortune, like I said, keep in mind that the only thing that is constant is change. So be mindful of where you are at on this wheel right now. You do have the Star card, which talks about hope, promise. There is some light at the end of the tunnel. It might not be as big as you want it to be, but it's just enough to give you that light forward. And notice how the Star or Aquarius, this is the Aquarius card, she has her foot in the water and on the ground. So she's grounding, not just within her emotions, but within her practicalities. She's making sure to nurture the ground and the water to replenish things. So keep in mind on how you nurture yourself. The Sun card is actually the best card out of all 3. This is the card of Leo. Sun gives life to everything. It's the brightest light, right? It's the brightest star. And it shines a light on everything. So perhaps this is speaking to a light being shown very soon here for you. If you've been feeling uncertain about where you're at, don't let your heart be troubled. It's going to illuminate something soon. That's what I see. This could be a union with another person, or this could be union within yourself. True integration of the self. Any other cards before we close this? Oh, I guess just one more. The King of Pentacles. This could represent you, maybe. What else? Okay. So we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Three of Cups, and the Lovers. So we actually do have your card now, your calling card. There could be a very stable person for my women out there. This could be a stable man who's got a nice, stable life that wants to have fun, wants to create some good times with you, maybe wants to take you out. And so that could be potential. Or let's say that there is a business venture that could be very creative. The Three of Cups can talk about just one of those creative types of careers where it wouldn't even feel like you're working. That's how awesome of a career would be. And I mean, who wouldn't want something like that? That could be offered to you. This could also speak to maybe perhaps there could be a trip coming up soon. We have the Chariot, the World, the Six of Cups at the bottom. And that talks about, well, the Chariot talks about travels, but it can also talk about victory. The World card talks about cycles, usually closing cycles. So this can either be travels, a cycle of travel or something like that, or this could be victory over the closing of a cycle that was from the past with the Six of Cups, closing of a cycle from the past. Yeah. Well, that was nice. Very nice, Gemini. Until next time. Peace out.